You may be seated. Several things we can glean from this portion of the gospel. And Jesus just unambiguously just defines for us what marriage is. Marriage is monogamous. We've heard from before that in the Old Testament that it was okay to have more than one wife. Polygamous. No. Jesus is saying that God made them male, one, and female, another. Only one rib was taken out of Adam. Not polygamy. Just because it's written in the Old Testament that our patriarchs and our fathers had more than one wife, that we could be like I think it was the Latter-day Saints. What did they call them? Mormons. Monogamous. He who divorces and marries another commits adultery. He who divorces and marries another commits adultery. How much more he who is not divorced and marries another. Right? Just because Solomon has 300 doesn't mean we can have at least half of that number. Right? But that one heart. And it is heterosexual. We should not be moved, even if cultures of today, even if advanced, progressive, positions and opinions of today would say, marriage is about love. So it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman that you love, right? No, man and woman. That's the design of God, heterosexual. Also, it does say, and this will step on many toes, and I'm laying these out as Jesus' ideals, not for condemnation, but for objectives. Jesus did say, a man leaves his father and his mother and cling to his wife. No, it doesn't say that a man clings to his mother and would be ready anytime to leave his wife if she doesn't agree with him. Right? Because we, in this maternal culture, we tend to have that umbilical cord, an eternal umbilical cord to our mothers that was obviously metaphorically not cut off at birth, and we maintain it even after we already are married, and we still have that connection with our mother. We can't leave. And mother and father would not want to let us go. A man leaves his father and his mother, becomes a man, and starts his family, and as we call in this church, starts his own little church, and becomes responsible, and becomes himself a father, just like his father, and does not continue to become dependent on him or his mother. He leaves home. He leaves his father and his mother and starts standing on his feet and supporting his wife and his family. And Jesus further says, what God has joined together, let no one separate. Now we come to the really confrontational part. No one separate, including the married parties. We have come up with a lot of excuses, like the very common irreconcilable differences as grounds for divorce. Jesus made one exception, and that exception probably can still be overcome by forgiveness. But he did say that if a man divorces his wife except for unfaithfulness, then he commits adultery if he marries another. But some do still forgive unfaithfulness. I know one, God. We're supposed to be betrothed to him. We're supposed to be married to him. How many times have we been unfaithful? And He forgives us. He doesn't divorce us. Let no man separate, including the married parties. Because, as Jesus said, and the Pharisees were like trying to justify their position by citing Scripture, right? There's a provision in the law that this and that. And Jesus said, well, in the beginning that was not the case. See, the reason there was divorce, He said, is because of your hardness of heart. The reason there's divorce is because there's a lack of love. There's a ceasing of love. Love, which is defined as patient and kind, and does not seek its own, is not provoked, and does not keep a record of wrongs, and endures all things, including irreconcilable differences, and bears all things, and believes all things, and hopes all things. We give all of those up, then we're ready for divorce. Then we stop loving. Because we pursue self and we seek self. It really, it really is not just talking about marriage when Jesus said this. And there's that term in the Old Testament, before the Old Testament laws, a term which is called case law. I'll give you an example. Paul uses the scripture, do not muzzle the ox while it's threshing. It's a case law. He said, it really is not talking about oxen, is it? It's talking about a principle. A principle. Not just about animals and agriculture and animal husbandry. It's, you glean from that the heart of God. The washing of hands. Is it about dirt? No. St. Paul said that the circumcision is about dirty flesh. No. It's spiritual. It's we get a glimpse, or we get the Spirit of God from the law He gave us. And this is talking more, not just about marriage. It's talking about faithfulness in everything. And I was reading this, and I was reading other scriptures, and I came across a discussion on hell. What's it about? Is it a place? Is it a state? Is it, do you experience physical suffering there? Will you experience physical pain? And how long is it? Is it for eternity? Etc., etc. I won't go into the debate. I'll just cite one position, which is the Orthodox position. The Orthodox position is hell is a state where God continues to love you and you continue to reject that love. And that is torment to you. Because He continues to be faithful. He remains faithful even when we are faithless. And they said, it's really profound, but your constant rejection, it's like, something that's very stubborn. Makulit, ayaw mo, because you don't know that it's good for you, ayaw mo, and you keep rejecting it, and you just get, tired and fed up, and it's suffering for you, because that thing just constantly is stubborn and would not stop bothering you. Well, that's what the Orthodox say about God's love and about hell. Hell is rejecting God's love. But He remains faithful because He is against divorce. That's not His character. He doesn't give up on us. He doesn't give up on us. And this is what Jesus is actually saying. That it's not just about marriage. Divorce is not just about marriage. It's about us being faithful. It's about us bearing all things. It's about us being patient and kind and not keeping a record of wrongs. Because if we do keep a record of wrongs, then we will not endure. Then we will not bear all things. Then we will be provoked. Because we think of ourselves and we are self-seeking. But He remains faithful even if we are faithless. That's the character of God. That's the character of the kingdom you belong to. That's the way it is in that very kingdom. Let us all stand.